So we're going to talk about moles and voles. Like Karen told you, we probably won't get rid of them, but we can figure out how to live with them. And they're very easy to confuse with one another. Their names are the same or sound the same a lot. But when you look at them, they're not the same. They have different behaviors and diets. And let's take a look and see what those are. Moles get their name from a Chehalis Indian word meaning hands turned backwards, which is what they use to tunnel. They're usually meat eaters, mostly worms, grubs, slugs, and snails, which is good, as well as grass roots. And they can eat 100% of their body weight in a day. Wow. Eat all year round. They have soft gray fur, a hairless snout, small eyes and ears that are hidden in the fur, and the paddle-like front feet for that digging. They live in tunnels, which they can do 100 feet of in a day or 15 feet of in an hour. Wow. Pretty quick. Occasionally, as they clear their tunnels, they make those mounds that we see in our yards that we get so angry about. Their physical body has adapted to living in those tunnels with those small eyes, and they're virtually blind and no ears externally. They mate only in late winter or early spring, one litter per year with 3 to 5 young. Their lifespan is 4 to 6 years, sorry. Moles are mammals. From their names from a Latin word talpa, which means mold. So characteristics of voles, which are also known as meadow mice, or field mice, or pine mice. They're smaller than mice and have shorter tails and ears. They're not omnivores in that they eat tubers, bark, seeds, fruit, and underground fungi. They're nocturnal and make shallow runways and tunnels, 1 to 2 inches wide underground. They're visible, their tunnels are visible along the surface, but they don't make mounds. Voles are prolific breeders. A female can have 5 female offspring in the first litter. So those 5 can make 25 more females. So the population jumps to 125, then 625, and there could be up to 3,125 females within 4 to 6 months if none die. They can have 5 to 10 litters per year with an average of 3 to 6, even up to 11, they can have babies. And the females are sexually active in 35 to 40 days. They're monogamous. Their bonds might last long after mating, even a lifetime. Yes. Both moles and voles provide a benefit to our soil. Their extensive tunneling and the volcano-shaped mound building loosen the soil and aerate it. The soils become shifted, which mixes the nutrients, blends the surface soil, and improves soil quality. So they're not all bad. Most voles do have predators, and some of those include coyotes, hawks, owls, eagles, our cats and dogs, of course, snakes, and weasels. There's also something we don't have here, but it's called mole snake, and it's only found in South Africa, but that's a favorite of their diet. So some of the controls that don't work much are things like flooding the tunnels, because the tunnels are very deep and extensive. You can't flood them with a hose. The water is too slow to release. Smoke and water gets absorbed into the soil if you use smoke. And finding the right tunnel or all of the tunnels is pretty much impossible. But they'll thank you for making the soil easier to work with. So there are things we can try to do. Scare tactics, which are pretty much useless. We drive our lawnmowers and weed eaters and other things across the yard. They're used to noises. Using insecticides kills good things, but it also will kill crane flies, which is part of their diet. But the poisons can affect the groundwater and hurt other wildlife. So they don't scare easily. Again, the vibrations and pinwheels, and they don't really care. That's a good picture of the backward hand. Suggestions of pouring ammonia or bleach down the hole, or soaking a cloth and shoving it down the hole, really have no evidence of being effective, and the toxic chemicals can harm more than the targeted animal. Sometimes the vole or the mole may not even eat that you put in the ground, leaving it in your yard. Poison baits don't work. You don't want to kill other things in your yard.
Or your pets. I've had that happen.
Yes. Okay,
You might have just.
so according to Washington law, we can't use body piercing or gripping traps to trap them. Now we're talking about the hardware cloth again. And hardware cloth in your raised garden bed is a good idea, but you do want to bring it up the sides. Leaving it like that, any of these little guys can get through that. And the hardware cloth, like Karen showed you, is, I think this is the 1/4 inch size. And they can't get through that. I have some friends here today that have tried. It just didn't work. Tall grass provides food and safe habitat for voles. And like we learned a little while ago, you don't want to have mats of this underneath and around your trees because they like that. So keep your grass short around your gardens and your trees. And if you need help shortening your grass, my kids, when they were young, If they misbehaved, I'd give them a pair of scissors so they could go outside and cut the grass while they considered what they had just gotten through getting in trouble.
Well,
That's true. So again, don't provide places for them with the thick mulch and weed barriers. They just like to tunnel under them. Castor oil is a repellent that has been shown some places to be a deterrent, on eastern moles mostly. But you can try them here too. You would mix 8 ounces of castor oil with 4 fluid ounces of biodegradable dish soap and squirt it away.
Down the hole or around the area?
Anywhere you want, because they don't like it. Moles or voles you want. Then I'm assuming probably all the mice.
probably.
So bottom line, I think, is live and let live. Consider whether you can live with them.
Yeah.
You can rake your soil when they make their little mounds. Again, this is great for the kids. Give them a rake, let them go out there and rake your yard so that you can mow your grass. They do provide pest control by eating sloths and snails, fly larvae, cutworms, and the hardwood cloth in your raised beds will help. And these are resources we used. Washington State reference that Karen told you about, the Fish and Wildlife, Living with Wildlife. That's a really excellent place to go get information. So I think, in my yard anyway, we live and let live.